Welcome to Her Health First Wellness Collective, where Black women come first. We're here to educate, advocate, and empower you to take charge of your health. Because your well being is not optional, it's essential. On today's episode, join us as we talk with Tamisha about her port placement, her first chemo session, and then some. Hey y'all, so welcome back to Her Health First Wellness Collective. I'm Tracy, and we're here with my sister Tamisha, and I know we've been promising you episodes, and so we had some technical difficulties. So we did try to do the next episode. We had some technical difficulties. The uploads weren't working. Life was lifing, okay? Because life still goes on. So what we're gonna do, we're going to do, we're gonna give you two different videos. So it'll be one. This one that we're doing today is going to be about her port placement, first chemo session, and then we'll do one with the subsequent chemo sessions after that. So, are y'all ready? Are you ready, Mish?
I'm ready.
All right, so let's do it. All right, so I know it was like a while ago. So see if you can remember. Back to your Mediport placement. So can you explain to everybody what a Mediport is and why it was recommended that you get it?
Okay, so I have a port, and the reason why I have a port is so that way when they have to draw my blood, and due to the fact that I have to get the chemo, and the chemo is goes through the port, which is connected to main vein, and it just makes it more easier instead of them have to keep poking me every time I come in to have to draw my blood work and make sure to check my my calcium and magnesium and all that other good stuff that they have to check. They just go through the port, and it do make it so much easier.
Yes. Speaking from somebody who has access ports and who has tried to start IVs on patients that are going through chemo, apparently them ports are a lifesaver, okay? I love it. Love it. So can you remember how you felt leading up to the procedure?
Well, I just didn't know what to expect. I just knew I was getting a port. They explained it to me like what I was going to get, but you still don't really know.
Right.
The procedure was very easy. I won't say it wasn't bad because you're up, but you can like hear what you're so relaxed. You can hear everything that's going on around you. The ladies that did my port, they had some R&B on. They were singing. I was singing in my head, but it's like you can't move because you're so relaxed. But I could just hear the music, and I'm jamming in my head. They jamming with me. I was like, with that part, I did enjoy that part. So that relaxed me,
Right.
because I had the music, and then it was just like because you're up, but you're laying down, so you don't feel anything. You really don't.
Right.
But they do. I'm not gonna lie. When you go into the room, they do look scary because the room is so big, and you see those big old lights. But it's nothing to be. It's really nothing to be nervous about. It was a little sore like afterwards, but it was like nothing major, like no major pain where you had to take like medication or anything.
Yeah. Okay. So since you've had the port placed, did you feel like you had to make any adjustments? Maybe with like your daily life or things you did, do you have to make any adjustments because of it?
Oh, well, with the port, you do got to be careful because you can't move too aggressively because it's like you can feel it. So it do take some time for getting used to it. I can definitely tell you that. Sometimes I do have to remember, like, I have my port right there, especially when my daughter comes to give me a hug.
Yeah.
I have to, like, tell her, like, mommy got her port right here because she always loved to lay her, her head, her head on this side, and is right there because it's right here where I don't know if you can see it, but see it's right there.
Yeah.
And she left to lay her head right there. So sometimes, I have to remind her, like, oh, please be, like, be careful.
Yeah.
But it doesn't hurt or anything. You just feel it moving.
Right.
I don't really try to lift anything too heavy, too strenuous because I just,
Right.
I don't know if it's gonna move. I don't know if it will or not. So I just try to keep using everything with my right hand, which is the dominant hand for me anyways.
Right. Okay, so what advice would you give to someone who's nervous about getting a Mediport?
If you're you're gonna. Naturally, you're gonna be nervous.
Right.
My advice is just to, if you have any questions or concerns, just please definitely ask the team members.
Absolutely.
Make sure you ask questions if you don't understand. Just ask questions. Keep asking until you feel comfortable about it.
Right.
I won't say Google because Google will make you even more nervous, and you're not even gonna want to come to go through the procedure.
Right.
So I recommend do not Google because it's gonna make you have butterflies, and you're definitely not gonna want to get. You're not gonna want to get it because people are gonna tell you about their experience.
Right.
But everybody's experience is different, so always keep that in mind.
Absolutely.
That everyone have their own story, and
Right.
their story is not going to be your story.
Right. And I think a good rule of thumb too, when it comes to looking at people's experiences, is that you got to remember. So you think back to something that you've done, and how often are people gonna say, "Oh my gosh, I had this great experience. Let me go on and type a review." It's rare. I mean, people do it, but it's more often that people who have a negative experience or who've had complications and things like that are going to be the people who write these reviews. So just keep that in mind also. So, all right. So that's it about the Mediport placement. So let's talk about your first chemo session. Do you remember the emotions you felt coming into your first session?
The first session, I was nervous, anxious. I guess you was just all over the place, just ready to get it over with.
Right.
Now, my first, um, when they tried to access my port, now that was a little difficult.
Yes.
And they say three times the charm. It took them three tries to get it to access my port.
Mm-hmm.
Now it happened I just got the port put in on the Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
My chemo was just the next day, which was the Wednesday.
Right.
I didn't have any like lidocaine put on there, so I was just straight. They just straight access it, boom.
Yeah.
And they stuck me. They had to stuck me three times, so it was a little sore. So that was a little kind of nerve wracking, but it wasn't bad.
Right.
It wasn't bad. I done went through worse things, so
Right.
I would say, like they say, the third time got it. The chemo went through everything. Sat there, my sister. We talked. We watched movies, and that was just, you know, my day of the first round of chemo.
Yeah. So, was there anything that surprised you in that first chemo session?
I just think the whole process of chemo.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never really, I hear people go through chemo, but I never really knew the extent to chemo. Like
Right.
they have to go through. You have to go through all of this. You have to go through so much.
Mm-hmm.
Your life really changes. You have to eat differently.
Right.
You may not be able to eat at all. Sometimes the smells. Like I'm going through the different thing with the smells.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they get to me. Some days are better than others.
Right.
But like for me today, the alcohol it really was bothering me.
Okay, so can you describe, well, we always dedicate the whole day to chemo. So can you describe a typical chemo day? What does a typical chemo day look like?
A typical chemo day. Okay, so we just come in, we check in. I go to the infusion. They have to access my port. Then they're gonna draw my blood just to make sure that all my like my potassium and magnesium, my white count, and
Your
my
hemoglobin,
hemoglobin, things of that sort.
platelets,
My platelets, all of them are good enough so that I can do the chemo. Now after that, then I'll go back into the lobby. I'll wait. And then wait until the test results become available, and then that's when I will go see my doctor or her assistant. Then they'll just let me know, like, hey, if my potassium or anything, if anything is not up to par, they'll let me know. Unfortunately, for the last two sessions, which I'm not happy about, my potassium was low, and I guess this session it happens to be lower. So they gave me one pill the first time. Now that pill is huge. And when I tell you it's huge and it's gritty.
I'm gonna find a picture of it.
And it's very hard to swallow. Now this time today they told me, oh, it was low. I wasn't expecting to take 2. I had to take 2 of those. Not happy about that because it was very difficult to swallow, especially 2.
Right.
But just so happened my nutritionist came in and she's going to give me some tips on, what to eat to help me, eat foods that have more like potassium and magnesium. The things that she said I've already, drink or eat, but I guess I may need to like double up to do more to help me. Because I don't want to take no more of those pills anymore. And then after I speak to the provider, my doctor, then I go back to the lobby and then I have to wait and then they'll call me to let me know I'm ready for chemo. Then they give me my pre-meds, which is like nauseous medications to help me. And then I start my steroids. And then I start my chemo medication.
All right. So what is there anything that you can think of that helps you stay calm or keep you comfortable during treatment?
Well, I'm just me. I don't really know if I'm thinking of anything differently.
Right.
I just try to remain positive. Absolutely. Because I feel like if you like, I'm not saying you shouldn't be emotional about it.
Right.
Because having cancer is definitely like a life change. Like it changes your whole life.
Absolutely.
Not only your life, but everyone that's around you.
Right.
Life changes as well. Because they have to kind of adapt to you.
Right.
They gotta, help you. May have to help you out. And when I say help out, meaning, like for instance, with the cooking, like if I want to cook something, I can't always taste.
Right.
So I have to get help, or just simple things like that.
Yeah.
I can't even cook without asking for help.
Yeah.
Because my taste is so off. Just little things. Just try to remain as positive or keep thinking about something that makes you happy.
Right.
My daughter, I was saying my daughter, think about my family, things like that. I try to watch something like my movies to keep my mind off of it. Might look at TikTok here and there. Well, I usually don't look at TikTok.
Yeah, we usually watch movies.
We usually watch a movie.
Yeah.
But today is our recording session, so no movies today.
Right. Because we owe y'all recordings.
Yes, we do. We're behind.
We are.
Thank y'all for y'all patience.
Yes.
And other than that, I just try to. That's really it for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's about the day. That's about the session right there. So side effects. Let's talk about side effects from your after that first chemo treatment.
Now, that first chemo treatment, that was rough on me. I was very fatigued. I don't know if it had to do, could have been maybe also mental.
Yeah.
Because that was my first time. I had to pour. Then I had to pour it on a Tuesday, chemo on a Wednesday.
Right.
Then I had to take, my medication. The medications make me drowsy. They make you sleep. They definitely make you sleepy.
Right.
But I was down for a while. I wasn't really myself that first week. But other than that, the other chemo sessions and after that, I was fine.
Yeah.
Just the nauseousness, which is, the fatigue.
Right.
But I was, able to do things, try to do my walk as much as possible. And when you lay in the bed, you start to feel all this pain.
Right.
It doesn't help with your, with your receiving.
Right.
Laying in the bed. And if you feel, I always say, if you feel good, just walk. If you're tired, definitely lay down. Your body will tell you what to do. Listen to your body.
Absolutely. So, so let's change gears. So how has your medical team supported you throughout this process?
My medical team, they're awesome.
Yes, I agree.
I think they, aside, even though I got diagnosed 4 days after my 40th birthday, even though I did, my doctor, she's awesome. She called me. She told me. I knew though, because I had my sister read it. And it was so crazy. I just threw the phone. Like, I was on the way to the bathroom. Like, I think I said something like, "Just look at this and read this." But I kind of already knew. But I just needed her to confirm. Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I have breast cancer." And then my doctor called me shortly after. She was like, "I know you're probably seeing your test results in my chart." And she was like, "Yeah, you have breast cancer." But she was like, "Don't worry. I'm here with you the whole way." And she's been here with me the whole way through. Um, and then I have two more, well, my oncologist and my breast surgeon. They're all awesome. And everybody else that come across helped me. They are awesome. They're sweet. They make sure you're okay. They laugh and joke with you. They're always smiling. Um, they just any questions I have, even if they don't know the answer, they make sure they find the answer. Right. And they don't just, they're honest, and that's what I like. They don't just tell me what I want to hear. Right. Like, they let me know, like, this is how this is going to go. This is what could happen. This is what can happen. But we're here for you. And they have been here for, just a matter of fact, my my nutritionist just came in to visit me. And she told me she was going to come see me today. And she came, she kept her word. So anything that they told me they were going to do, they have done so thus far. They're like awesome. So if you're in Tampa, in the Tampa area, wherever, in Central Florida, and then if you ever are diagnosed, I would tell you for sure, Tampa General Hospital, they live up to the expectations. Can I get someone to double check? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yes, you can. See, they're in here right now, but she may not want to be on the camera. They're so sweet. Yeah.
Okay, so what advice would you give someone who's about to go through their first chemo session? I think you kind of touched on some things earlier, but what would you tell somebody?
For me, I would definitely say make sure you have support. You're going to need it. Definitely from your family, your friends, your loved one. Yeah. If anybody's negative, just remove them. Yeah. Just tell them you need this moment for you to heal. Just remove them. And then when you get better, if you want to deal with it, you can. Make sure your team, your medical team, just make sure that they cover all your wants and your needs, because you're gonna have a lot of questions. Right. Your body's gonna go through a lot of changes. Like for me, my fingernails, I have they're bloodshot. Mm-hmm. Can you see it? Like, let me see if you can see it. They're bloodshot. Yeah, like right here at the base. Yeah, they're bloodshot. So I just told my doctor, I'm like, "Doctor, look at my hands." I'm like, "They're bloodshot." She was like, "Oh yeah, you're probably gonna lose. I'm probably gonna lose the nail, but they're gonna grow back." So your body go through so many different type of changes. Yeah. That is the biggest change. Well, let me not say. I'm not gonna say the biggest change. The biggest change is probably losing my hair. Yeah. Which I knew I was gonna lose my hair because my arm, the hair under my arm, it was losing there, and then the private area was losing, and I knew it. Then the head. I still have a little bit of eyebrows, but they're probably maybe not gonna be there for too much longer. Right. We'll see. Still do have my arm and my leg hairs. They didn't go. So, but just just have to be open minded. I think that's what you have to. If you're gonna have fear, but you cannot let fear overtake you in this process. Right. Absolutely. Because then you're gonna be afraid of everything. Right. You're not gonna want to do the chemo because your body is gonna go through the changes. You're gonna wake up. My hands are turning. See the spots on my hand. You're gonna wake up maybe with new symptoms that you probably didn't go through the time before. You just have to be open minded and just allow yourself to know that my body's gonna go through many changes, but I have to go through these changes in order for it to get better. Right. You know, that would be the best advice. And keep, I don't know, everybody may not be religious or spiritual. I would say, whoever you believe in, the higher power of God, or whoever you believe in, talk to Him as well. Just make sure you stay prayed up out always.
Yeah. All right. I like it. I like it. So, throughout this whole process so far, what do you feel has been the most challenging part?
Honestly, the challenging part is the water. The water intake for me, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I have yet to reach the goal of 64 ounces of liquid.
Right, right.
That is like so high for me.
Mm-hmm.
I know they say you could do popsicles, you could do tea, you could do jello. I don't think I made it to 64 ounces. And I drink coconut water, and I drink them by the can.
Mm-hmm.
I love coconut water, but it's just very hard for me to consume the 64 ounces.
Yeah.
And I know people may think that's the hardest part. That is definitely the hardest part for me. Everything else is just part of the process.
Right. And I will tell y'all, so when we had the first appointment here to see the oncologist, the oncologist laid out everything. You're going to get your port placed, you're going to have chemo for this many rounds, you're going to do surgery, you're going to do radiation, and then you'll keep having immunotherapy for a year. And she was cool with everything. Everything. She was like, oh, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But when that lady said 64 ounces, and that lady said 64 ounces, she was like, what? They were so tickled.
Thank you. See, she is the best. She brought me the paperwork. She came back.
She did.
My
Thank
team,
you.
bye. They're so awesome.
They are. They
awesome.
Really are. They really are. But yeah, so they were just like, oh, she wrote it down. Awesome. But they were just like, so out of everything we said, the water, the fluid intake is the problem. Oh, she was distraught about it. So it's just funny, where, and if Tamisha, that is typical Tamisha. She is not going to stress about the things everybody else stresses about. Well, honey, that water tore her up, okay?
Water.
That 64 ounces tore her up.
I still didn't baking yet.
Tore her up.
This is my fourth round
Yeah.
of chemo, and I still didn't make it. I'm working on it though.
Right. As long as you're getting better every time, but yeah. All right. So, has this experience changed your perspective on anything?
My perspective, I think it does change it. It definitely changes the way how I think about how people that have or had cancer,
Mm-hmm.
like how strong you have to be to go through this. Because this process, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not for your mind frame. You have to be strong.
Yeah.
It's not for the weak. Because if it is, it's going to take you. I feel like if you kind of like not really have that positive mindset and like be open minded, it can take you to a dark place. Yeah. Because like you have to stop working. When you go out, you have to have your mask on. With chemo, like now, when I go home, I have to flush twice.
For the first 3 days.
In the first 3 days, so it's certain things that you have to do.
Can't kiss Raina or anybody.
I can't kiss nobody. Yeah. And my daughter is, she's only 5. So I have to tell her like, no, you can't kiss mommy. Yeah. That's the hardest thing because so used to her giving me a kiss and a hug every day. Yeah. So that part, I can see how people can go in the dark, like it can get dark for them. Mm-hmm. I mean, definitely, I don't let it get to me because I know I'm healed already. That's just my belief. Mm-hmm. And I could tell you like the difference because my breasts were so swollen and felt so enlarged that I couldn't lift my right arm up. Now I could swing my arm, I could do everything. I could lay on my right side, and I couldn't do that. Right. Asked me to do that 2 months ago. I wasn't able to do that.
Yeah.
I would complain. Oh my! I would complain all the time. That was is that the biggest difference.
Yeah.
So I know I'm healed.
Yeah.
I know I am. I'm just going through the process of continuing my healing on my path. And for anybody that went through, like chemo and had cancer, and I know some people had more than once. It just made me realize like how strong people are, and the things that people have to go through. It just made me just look at life, differently, and appreciate, the little things a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, so along those same lines, what's one thing that you've learned about yourself throughout this process? What's one new thing you learned about yourself?
Um, oh, my blood pressure stay high coming to these.
No, but it's been good lately.
No, I take that back. A new thing that I probably
It's been good lately.
Huh? I probably say my listening skills. Probably listening, because usually I listen, but I don't listen. Especially, I do not like. For me, I'm bad with taking medication, but I feel like with this, I listen. Like with my thyroid, that medication, I'm not gonna lie, to be honest. And if my doctor see this, she will not be happy with me. I take it, but I sometimes I forget, and it's like I don't know why. So I think for me, listening to what the doctor tell me to do, I think that's what I'm finding about myself. My listening.
And you're disciplined, because discipline's included in there, doing it and
That's
doing
true.
it how you're supposed to do it. So
That's true.
definitely, but but I mean, it's been a wild ride so far. So, so we're going to wrap up this episode here, because then we're going to talk about subsequent chemo sessions and things that have happened since then. So we thank you all so, so much for tuning in. We definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
So of course, I'm talking about sure. So of course, like, comment, subscribe, share, all of that.
Please do.
And we really, really appreciate your support. So
Thank you.
will see you in the next video.
Bye.
Thanks for watching and being part of the Her Health First community. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with another Black woman who needs it, because when we lift each other up, we all win. See you in the next video, and remember, her health comes first.